Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers take on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Carolina Panthers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And it was too bad that last season for Greg Olsen, their tight end, and a foot injury plagued him and limited him to 7 games played, broke his streak of 1,000-yard seasons, but he'll get back in form. One of the best route runners in the league, a combination of strength, guile, smarts, and a little dash of speed.
Here's Newton. And he slings one that's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. And they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Off play action. Newton. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Julius Peppers in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that's complete to Luke Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Tackle made by K'Wan Short. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On second down, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. And they're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Panthers coming out now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. These two teams, Panthers and Lions, met each other in Week 5 in Detroit last year. You did that game, didn't you?
I did, and the Panthers were starting to round into form, especially their quarterback Cam Newton, who had missed most of the preseason with a shoulder injury. He had a big game, 335 yards passing and 3 touchdown passes, and they beat Detroit 27-24.
Newton on third down. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Out of the gun, Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Macklin. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Now the rookie from Notre Dame, it's Josh Adams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And now running right through it. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Well, let's listen in on the call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying,
Golden Tate's going to go. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, 77 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 7-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 8 catches, 94 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Jonathan Freeney, makes the stop.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now it's Newton. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. To throw on second down is Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play.
This pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now a run for Barner. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're saying.
And we'll see if that continues. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. So they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
stands on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Here's Sam Martin now. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Newton to throw. Funches with a catch over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They go play action here on 1st down. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
To the air again, Newton. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear. And
he's going to ball his way in for a Panther score. Josh Adams with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Extra point try good by Gano. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll begin here with Blunt. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Monday.
On the toss, this is Blunt. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off of play action, here's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dontari Poe in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Escaping the pressure right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. On second down, here's Newton. And his throw is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Able to slither by. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Set. 180.
From the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Here's Blunt. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tate. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To the air again, Stafford. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Stafford, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Luke Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Lions are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And they kick, accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Carolina. In for the score. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Gano for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that one goes down as a 99-yard kick return for 6 from the 1-yard line all the way to the house on the other end. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Time to spotlight Golden Tate, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's 3rd and short. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true. And
looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked picked off by Mike Adams. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Panther touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
Yeah, and it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Gano now to add the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 21-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. Spins past it. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. On the tackle, it's Captain Munnerlyn.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Tate. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Stafford now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Tate. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. First down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing again is Stafford. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd. 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. A shotgun snap for Newton. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now with Barner. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And he fires one incomplete. Jeremy Macklin, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. They'll roll him out right. And a spin again. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9. And now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
The Panthers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Barner. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Play action. It's Newton. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. They convert on third with a gain of 22. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Barner. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
2nd and goal from the 1. He'll get it up the middle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Newton. Hard throw, incomplete.
So he looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now a carry for Blunt. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle made there by Mike Adams, a strong safety.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Set, lady!
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. The Lions on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Stafford. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48.
Now, that's just simply good coaching and excellent technique on that play. You know why? Because everyone wants to rush the passer when they want to throw the football, but you're not always going to get there. So what are you taught to do? When the ball's finally thrown, get your hands up in the passing lanes, and they batted that one away.
No, 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 no. Carolina getting set to take the field. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Newton. And Olsen over the middle. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, here's Newton. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Newton on 1st down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Panthers on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is third down and 12. Newton. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Here's Newton now on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Now Newton on first down. It's caught by Funchess. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Now a play fake here on first down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short. Able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Carolina. Getting set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And an alley to run. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to get the 1st down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, it's Newton. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When I played in the yard as a kid, I used to imitate the spectacular catches that I would see on TV. I don't think I ever imitated one quite that well.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I know better. What we just saw there, that was pretty special.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th-quarter stop? And on the ground they go with a running back. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Michael Pilardi now. Time for a break as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Flush to his right, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. That means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
They'll look to throw. He hits Riddick underneath. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. He'll look to throw. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. He's back to throw. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation. Back to throw. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
What looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point. Elsewhere, they're on to the fourth quarter of MetLife Stadium. And it's the Giants that wound up winning that one. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. A field goal does him no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Newton. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
And it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield and nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. One last throw here for Newton. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, you're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Lions, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for the Panthers...